What's going on, riders and gliders? This is Derek from Ride and Glide Productions, and I have a question for you. If you have a Dodge, Chrysler, Ram vehicle, are you having problems with your newer UConnect infotainment system? If you do, stay tuned. Hit the subscribe button so you know when we have new videos. Hit the like button to let us know that you like the video. And comment so we can interact with you. Now back to the program. Alright, I'm seriously going to try not to be long-winded, but this is a really important video because I thought I had major issues with my UConnect infotainment navigation portion of it after my subscriptions expired. And the reason that I feel this video is important is because of what I had to do to navigate to find out that, and I'll be honest with you, I am partially a buffoon because I was so used to using the nav a certain way that I did not realize that it was a special feature that is not explained anywhere. And what I mean is this. All right, riders and gliders, hopefully you can see this, and here's my 12-inch screen. I'm going to go to nav. And okay, so you see the search bar right up here? That is what they refer to UConnect, when I say they, as the search and go feature. That if you try to type in any address and you see it's saying search offline, and see no matching results. So that's what I kept getting on any address that I typed in. So come to find out that you have to go here to the where to feature and hit that, and then type address.
Please proceed to the highlighted route.
So that's what you have to do. It's a little bit lengthy, but as you see, it works. So what I find funny is that UConnect was trying to get you to A, spend money for a map update that you don't necessarily need, depending on the area you live, and B, trying to get you to use the subscription services that take initially the search and go feature. So to use this search bar up there that a lot of us may be used to using, that is a paid for feature right there. So if you don't have any more subscriptions, that's what you have to use and go down the rabbit hole of entering everything in for the state and the address and so forth and so on. So that is the quote unquote workaround. So let me explain. You've seen the portion of how to use the nav. Now, I will say that I am not sure exactly what either the model year of vehicles and or the, I don't know if you want to say model number of the UConnect system. I can't remember which number that they've started doing this with the search and go feature with the it's got to be the AT&T Wi-Fi wireless subscription portion. What's really important is how I ended up getting to what you just saw is I literally, and I am quickly paraphrasing, but going down the rabbit hole with you so you understand I know what I'm talking about, even though it technically ended up being my fault. So I ended up calling one number on UConnect, got a lady there that said that she couldn't do anything because if the vehicle model was 2017 and newer, she didn't have anything on her screen that could pull it up and could help me. So she gave me the XM Guardian number. And let me preface also that my message was the same to each one of these third-party companies. It was the same. I did not deviate. I didn't add or take anything away. And what I told them was, hey, my nav just literally seems to have stopped working from the perspective of if I type an address in the search, where it says type address or whatever, it says no matching results. It doesn't show me anything around. It shows me the either a triangle or whatever you choose for your icon, and it'll show like the road names of what I'm near, but it doesn't show me any, like if you wanted to look for ATMs or restaurants or whatever, it doesn't show any of that. Also, like I said, if I type in an established address that's, from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, it said no matching results. So I'm telling all them the exact same way. I got past to two people on the XM Guardian phone call, and the last person told me, we know this is an issue. We have no fix for it. And of course, I was a little bit peeved, and I'm like, that's not cool. I mean, it doesn't matter. And I even told them, it doesn't matter if you're paid $15,000 for your vehicle or $150,000 for your vehicle. If you have a nav system in the vehicle, it needs to work. So a couple days went by, and actually, let me also say that last person had said, well, call and talk to your dealership. So I tried one of the dealerships that I use sometimes that's near me, couldn't get a hold of them. They never called me back. Went to a dealership, and these are all Dodge Ram dealerships. Went to one closer to me and talked to that service advisor, and a tech happened to walk into the office. They hadn't heard of the problem, and they even said it sounded like I was doing my due diligence and wasn't just walking in with a problem and, wasn't trying to at least figure it out for myself. And then he gave me a number to Ram customer care. On the way home, I called and talked to that lady. She was trying to be as helpful as possible. She said she hadn't heard of the problem, but gave me a case number and took all the information down and just said, we'll have to see how this goes. But she did give me a number. It was a different number to UConnect, and I called that number. This is where it gets interesting, and even though I know this is usually a longer video than I normally make, you need to hear this. So I called and talked to that gentleman, and he looked up some things and what kept saying, well, you need a map update. Well, if you go for the map update, it's a cost. And I wasn't trying to be cheap. This isn't what this is about. I've owned Dodge, Ram, Chrysler products for decades and decades and decades, and I've never had an issue using the navigation system on UConnect. So I was like, that's not what this is. This isn't a map update problem. This is, and I kept saying, to me, it seems something tied to subscriptions, not letting go, whether it's profile or account, even though I let all my complimentary year-long subscriptions expire, just really didn't use them to begin with. But I said that there seems to be a problem here. And he was kind of reluctant and then was like, are you trying to use the search and go feature? And I'm like, what is that? And he's like, the search and go feature. I'm like, I have no idea what you're saying. So anyways, that's the bar up top on my 12-inch screen that I showed you. And I'm like, yeah, because it says type in address right there. I mean, I know I'm sometimes simple, but I didn't think it was that simple. And he said, well, to use that feature, you have to have a subscription. And I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, hell no. No. And he's like, well, there is a workaround. I'm like, what do you mean a work? I don't want a workaround. I want this thing to be correct. And he said, where I showed you guys right before this, you go down to the Where To. See, it's a different setup because I have the Charger Hellcat. And it does that because, you know, I have the biggest screen you can get for that. Like, I think it's 8.4 or whatever. But the look is different with the software. So maybe that's also my ignorance, is because I'm used to kind of not just the look. I know they change sometimes the look of things with, you know, different software versions. But with that said, that bar, search and go bar on my Ram TRX is just like plain as day up there, and that's what you always use when you first get the vehicle, especially if you get it new. So I went to what he explained on the Where To, and as I showed you guys, pulled right up. But the reason, I know some of you, hopefully you all will leave a comment, and even if you make fun of me, what I find funny is that he was reluctant to tell me that, because they want you to keep buying or using the monthly subscriptions. But here's the thing. I'm not necessarily complaining. I'm just trying to uncover the veil. There's everything from the AT&T wireless hotspot. There's the XM radio. There is XM Guardian. Like, it's mind-boggling. And I had to navigate down each one of these. And if you recall what I said before with XM Guardian, they said, oh yeah, we know it's a problem. We just don't have a solution to fix it. So the one guy told me he knew that this was a problem of some sorts. Now, I don't know if it's the per se same exact problem or what, but nobody on any of the forums, because we know, and even the dealership admitted that they have, whether it's Dodge reps or Ram reps or Chrysler reps or Stellantis reps or whatever, we'll look through those forums to see what owners and in that whole community is saying and doing amongst one another to see if there's any validity in certain things. So I have seen this, so to speak, almost same issue, maybe a little bit different, and some owners are hot. And nobody has said, hey, look, what it really comes down to is that we would like you to buy the subscription. You use the search and go feature, but this is how you can use it if you don't have a subscription. Nobody has said that if your situation is the same as what I've explained to you. Riders and Gliders community needed to understand this, especially if you have a Stellantis, Mopar, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram product. I hope that this is a solution that a good many of you are like, oh my gosh, I've got the same problem. Here, let me try this. Yes, this fixed it, even though it's not really a fix. It's just something that's not talked about. So thanks again for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, and comment, and we'll interact with you. And to the next video.